And then Ricky Wagner didn't practice Tuesday, practiced Wednesday, was out there again today. Probably give him tomorrow off and see where he's at on Saturday to move forward. But other than that, you guys have been getting healthy and excited about where they're at right now.
Did Dipple aggravate the shoulder in the game, or is he just a little tired?
No, in the game last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, it was a shoulder injury that he didn't play with the last. And he practiced last week, I believe, on Wednesday. We sat him Thursday, practiced Friday, and was probably a week away. I think just knowing him, he wants to get out there quicker than later. And that's what we got to be really cautious with Ricky. I remember in fall camp, Ricky hyperextended his elbow. They told me he was going to be down like 4 or 5 days. He came out with a RoboCop elbow brace on. The first break, he was over in a trash can, throwing it in the trash can, and went the whole day and never said a thing. So we just got to be cautious to make sure that he's good to go, not him just telling us he can go.
And not only that, but with the knee, it's more mobile.
Absolutely. You know, and if he's not 100% full strength, we wouldn't put him in that position.
A number of your defensive guys have said that they think Michigan State's defense is one of the class of the Big Ten as far as I mean, is this an opportunity for them to show that maybe they're there too?
I think so, absolutely. I mean, our offense obviously gets to go against it, but I think our defense wants people to know that we're playing pretty good ball here as well. I don't think our defensive guys necessarily are into that kind of thing. They're not really driven by what kind of awards or how many people are talking to them, but you know, it's kind of like why I said those things on Tuesday in my presser. I mean, our guys have done some good things, and they deserve to get those awards.
Since Shelton Johnson's come back, have you seen any different hit players? He right back?
No, I think the first week, you know, Jeff, when he kind of came on off the bench, and that was Caputo's game that started, was that Illinois maybe? Or,
I think so.
you know, he hadn't really practiced all that week, got cleared literally the day before to play, and hadn't practiced in whatever it was, 5 weeks, you know. So that one, I think, was just a little bump in the road, but then that next week was really good and played extremely well last week. I think he's, you know, when he came across the middle and hit that tight end on that streak that they hit earlier in the game, it shows how quick he adjusts and learns and can really play some physical football.
Can you address the second quarters, the big second quarters Michigan State had last year? Is there any factor there?
Second quarter, and if you go back over the 3-year span, it's been kind of in spurts. You know, I think the big thing for us defensively is I thought Chris had a great stat. You know, in the games against Michigan State, we've given up a significant amount of 20-yard plays, 20-plus more yards. I believe it was 8 last year, and we just can't have those big plays. When you're playing good competition, you know, you can't afford to have those big plays, and they can't end up with points on the board. You know, I've been hitting them hard on the last 2 games that Michigan State has lost. Have been low-scoring affairs. You had to hit 4 field goals. Michigan had to convert 4 field goals. You know, in the last 2 games against Michigan State that we've lost, they've had a block punt, they've had 2 block field goals, and a fake in a kicking game, in the extra point PAT attempts. Yeah.
Along those lines, did you see the fake punt he ran at Michigan?
Yeah, you know, and I can see why, you know, that happened on that play. I'm sure that they had seen, just like a lot of times when you run fakes, it's things that you've seen on film that you don't run a fake expecting failure. You run a fake expect to have success based on what you've seen, and that's why you constantly got to evolve and kind of change up the looks that you're given.
It is, but I mean, you know, 4th and at 9, I think it was, back up in your own, that's still a balls to move.
It is. You know what? I go back to, I think the Packers, didn't they run one on like a 28-yard 4th down? You must have pretty good faith and that's going to work, you know, and kind of like that Iowa fake a couple of years ago. We said it really didn't matter what the down the distance was, and obviously we called it backed up in our own area, but you know, it was a look that we expected to get, and when you got it, you got to execute it.
Starting fast, another emphasis too.
Yeah, you know, it always is in our program. Well, we've really been trying to emphasize everything that we go with 3 keys to victory on offense and defense in every phase of the kicking game, and then they also have 3 keys to victory by position. And it was interesting, not really mandated by me, but everybody to a T had something in there about a 4-quarter preparation. We've had great second halves, but we need a 4-quarter preparation to get where we need to be.
You know, I'm sure obviously your priority is to win the game, but as a competitor, is there part of you that's curious to see how Stavi handles going against this defense in terms of his progression?
I would say not just Stavi. I get it because he's our quarterback, but just everybody. I mean, our line, this is going to be the best defensive front, you know, probably the best secondary that we've played to this point, without a doubt, and arguably might be the best on our schedule. So it's a tremendous challenge for everybody offensively.
Have you been able to discern on tape why their sack total is down so low?
Well, people are getting rid of the ball. I think people, you can see generally that, you know, even in teams that don't naturally get rid of it, some teams just it's their quick passing game. You know, that's why it's hard to sack Purdue and stuff like that. But even in the traditional drop back games, like Iowa's a drop back team, they were getting rid of the football now. You know, and just knowing that they're going to get pressure, and that's why they won't, give them a chance to get it.
I assume you've been harping on that with Joel this week.
If that's what we're asking them to do. I mean, there's two things you got to do. You either got to, protect with maximum number of people to get the ball down the field, or, have a short passing game that gets out when they're bringing pressures.
You guys been doing a lot of good on good this week in practice?
Yeah, because there's good carryover. Anytime, to me, these are the games that we play well because you match up well. Their offense is very similar to our offense in certain aspects. Power running game, 2 back, 2 tight ends, that stuff. So that stuff, yeah, we did more on Tuesday and Wednesday probably than we've done all fall camp. And again, that's good carryover.
You guys seem pretty excited to go against
They are.
style offense.
They're excited. I think defensively they know that maybe so than it has been in recent years that we really are relying on our defense to create field position. To obvious thing that you guys know, I always take the ball out of the kickoff, and we've deferred the last couple coin tosses and put our defense on the field to get a stop, and now we're starting with a win. So it's been a formula that's been working.